Hola, buen día. Les saluda Laura Valenta Pela Barrera. Soy doctorante de la Universidad IEXPRO y estoy aquí para presentarles los videos de 360 de Google Arts and Culture. Bueno, para esto me va a permitir compartir mi pantalla para mostrarles dos videos que son de mi interés. Bueno, el primero de ellos, claro que va a ser acerca de moda y las indicaciones son que debemos grabar la pantalla y también hacer una configuración de subtítulos. Entonces, para esto, primero voy a irme aquí a subtítulos y entonces me voy a poner en traduce automáticamente y voy a buscar el español. Aquí está. Entonces, vamos a ver por qué los tacones son una de las mejores invenciones de la ingeniería.
When you think of humankind's greatest engineering achievements, what comes to mind? Suspension bridges? Skyscrapers? Probably not the stiletto heel, though. Like the framework of a tall building, the stiletto, which means little knife in Italian, has a metal pin running its length so it can support our weight. One of the first to pioneer this technology in the 1950s was Salvatore Ferragamo. I'm Stefania Ricci, director of the Museo Salvatore Ferragamo in the heart of Florence, which chronicles both the designer's legacy and rich heritage of Italian design. People started wearing heeled shoes in Europe during the late 16th century, when fashions from the Orient, where men had worn heels as equestrian wear for hundreds of years, became popular. Yes, that's right, men wore heels too. During his reign from 1643 to 1715, King Louis XIV of France ruled that only he and members of his court could wear red-heeled shoes, turning heels into an emblem of power and privilege. Shortly after this period, heeled shoes became a gendered fashion item, but men continued to make them. In 1915, at the age of 17, Ferragamo, the 11th of 14 children, left his hometown in rural Italy and set off for America, armed with a dream of creating the perfect shoe. He set about making this dream a reality, first by studying anatomy and engineering, before opening a shop on the corner of Hollywood and Las Palmas Boulevards, which soon became a magnet for famous movie stars. In 1956, these 4-inch heels were worn by Marilyn Monroe in the film Bus Stop, which she produced and starred in. It was the peak of Monroe's career, earning her a Best Actress Golden Globe nomination and critical acclaim at last. Thus, the stiletto, especially the Ferragamo stiletto, became a status symbol that proclaimed, "I'm confident, successful and sexy," qualities emulated in the walk of the woman wearing them. Ferragamo's heel design led the body's equilibrium rather than opposing it. Now the stiletto is a comfortable shoe, no longer reserved solely for movie stars and pin-ups. It opened possibilities for designers to realize their ideas and influenced how every walk of woman moves through life.
Muy bien, entonces, como podemos ver, se puede pausar, podemos ver qué es lo que hay aquí alrededor. Y otro video que encontré que me llamó la atención es acerca del pequeño vestido negro de Coco Chanel. Aquí también, cuando cambiamos de video, pues tenemos que irnos y otra vez a los subtítulos, ya modificarlos. Ay, Dios mío, a modificarlos al idioma que nosotros queremos. Voy a modificar la velocidad de producción a 1.5 y aquí vamos a ver cómo es que podemos ver esto acerca del video.
We're all individuals. One woman's closet is unlikely to have identical contents to another, but they're sure to have one common factor, a black dress. With a fashion collection comprising some 80,000 garments, the Musée Les Arts Décoratifs in central Paris is one of the foremost institutions on the subject in Europe. As chief curator of the fashion collections dating from 1800 to 1939, Marie-Sophie Caron-Le Carrière tells the story of this black silk satin and canne lace dress, which was designed by Gabrielle Coco Chanel in 1925. While Chanel wasn't the first designer to recognize the subversive power of black, she was key to the creation of the iconic and now ubiquitous black dress, a short, simple, wearable yet powerfully elegant wardrobe staple for the modern woman, liberating them from the corseted silhouette. By the 19th century, black was only worn by widows, working classes, and a few elite who wanted to stand out, a highly contentious fashion choice. In 1884, painter John Singer Sargent unveiled his portrait of Virginie Gautreau entitled Madame X at the Paris Salon. The sight of a married socialite in a black dress, standing in a coquettish pose, caused such a scandal, it had to be removed so he could make an adjustment to the dress strap. 40 years later, young women had sadly grown accustomed to wearing black as mourning, but now the Great War was over, all they wanted was colour. When Chanel looked out from her box at the opera one night onto a sea of red screens and electric blues, she stated, "These colours are impossible. I'm going to dress these women in black." Since then, the black dress has gone from being rebellious to neutral, rare to omnipresent, anti-fashion to fashionable, yet it's more dramatic than ever. Some of the most iconic movie images feature a woman in a black dress. Black punctuates scenes, ingraining them in our minds, which is why the black dress is such a firm red carpet favourite. As powerful as the black dress appearance is the story behind the garment. It attests to the social connotations clothes carry, the speed of changing attitudes, and the attention colour commands, an ordinary fashion item that has had an extraordinary effect on fashion today.
Y bueno, así como podemos encontrar una infinidad de diferentes videos en 3D. Son acerca de ciencia, acerca de lugares geográficos, acerca de pinturas, están padrísimos. Entonces se pueden explorar, te puedes ir un poquito más allá de lo que veo en las 2D. Pues las explicaciones están buenísimas. Y bueno, eso es todo. Yo soy Laura Belén Tapia de la Barrera, soy estudiante de doctorado en la Universidad de IEXPRO, en el doctorado de Educación con Tecnología Educativa y Conocimiento en Entornos Virtuales. Muchas gracias a todos.